Hey, what's going on? It's Black97 here, back with another deck combo guide. Today we are going after the widely requested Stardust Junk Synchro deck profile we did a few months back with Junk Collectibles. A lot of you have been asking how the deck fully works, get some more in-depth guide on what exactly plays we should be making, what our end board should be looking like. So I teamed up with Junk Collectibles to kind of figure out what the perfect ideal first turn board should look like. So without further ado, let's rev it up and get into things. Starting with the heart and soul of our turn one, and mostly just the deck itself, Junk Speeder. This is our bread and butter. This thing resolving is going to get you so many plays going. Definitely want to protect this guy at all costs. Pretty much any Synchron tuner and any non-tuner, we can easily make this guy. Just has to be adding up to level 5. Once he fully resolves, we're going to grab 5 Synchron tuners, that being the level 1 Jet, the level 5 Wheel, the level 3 Revolution, the level 4 Stardust, and the level 2 Assault. From here, we're going to use the effect of Stardust Synchron. Whenever he's special summoned, he'll grab a spell or trap that mentions Stardust Dragon. In this case, we're going to grab Arrive in Light. We have a few other cards in case we do open with Arrive in Light, but you're always going to want to grab this one if you do not have it. From there, we're going to use Jet and Speeder to synchro off into Charge Warrior. Once he's summoned, we'll be able to draw a card, so that's really nice. Then we'll activate our Arrive in Light. What we do from there is we put Converging Wills onto the top of our deck. We'll then use our Stardust Charge Warrior and our Assault Synchron to then go into Excel Stardust. The effect of Arrive in Light will activate. We'll be able to draw a card. And then also special summon a tuner from hand. So Converging Wills Dragon will come out. His effect will activate. He'll also snag Stardust Worm. From there, we're going to use Stardust Synchron and the Stardust Worm to go into Tech Genus Hyper Librarian. Bit of a bonus part of the combo. Anytime we synchro summon from here on out, we're going to draw additional cards, just replenishing our hand. From there, we're going to then tribute Wheel Synchron. So that way we can revive Stardust Synchron from the graveyard. He'll banish itself when it leaves the field, but that's okay. We'll be able to use him then, along with Excel Stardust, to go into the fabled Crimson Dragon. It's going to be huge. From there, we'll add Synchro World once he's summoned, and then immediately activate it. We're also going to use the graveyard effect of Wheel Synchron. We'll banish him, and then we can lower a monster's level by up to 4. We're going to target Crimson and lower its level by 2. From there, we'll have Converging Wills tune with the now level 10 Crimson Dragon for the Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Pretty nice. From there, the graveyard effects of Worm and Jet can be utilized to bring them both back. They should banish once they leave the field, so again, just something to kind of keep your eyes out that you will be losing a lot of resources from the grave, but that's okay. These guys will kind of help go into further plays. What we're going to use these Jet and Worms for is the level 2 Celestial Double Star Shaman. She's going to be super handy as we're going to be using her to grab a non-tuner, level 2 from hand or graveyard. Pretty much whatever you used in tandem with Junk Synchron, something like Junk Converter, Caligo Clawcrow. We'll revive him. From there, we're going to use that non-tuner level 2 and our level 3 Revolution Synchro to go into Garden Rose Maiden. Very nice. So our field now should look like Garden Rose Maiden, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, Celestial Double Star Shaman, TG Hyper Librarian, Arrive in Light as a continuous spell, and then our field spell, Synchro World. From here, we're also going to be getting a bunch of cards as Hyper Librarian's going to be going off like crazy. We're going to use Star Shaman, Rose Maiden, and Hyper Librarian for the level 12 Excel Synchro Cosmic Blazer Dragon. So we should only have the Shooting Majestic and the Blazar. From the graveyard, we can activate Garden Rose Main's effect. We'll banish herself. To then revive our Crimson Dragon. Very nice. We'll then use Crimson Dragon's effect. We'll target Cosmic Blazar to then shuffle itself back and bring out Shooting Quasar. You can also do that combo in reverse where you bring out Shooting Quasar, target it with Crimson to then bring out Cosmic Blazar. Essentially, if you bring out Quasar with Crimson Dragon, it gets 1 attack as you used 1 Synchro non-tuner for its material. But if you use Rose Maiden, Shaman, and Librarian, you'll get 2 attacks with Quasar as you use 2 non-Synchro tuner monsters, that being the aforementioned Rose Maiden and the Librarian. Just something to kind of consider, that you may want to go into Quasar first and then tag into Blazar, but a lot of these combos are kind of interchangeable, so dealer's choice on who you want to go into first and then tag into using Crimson Dragon. We're going to now use the graveyard effect of Revolution Synchron, basically working like Glow Up Bulb. He's going to come back as a level 1 now. Very handy. We'll only be able to use that effect once per duel though, so take that into consideration. We'll then have him tune with Shooting Majestic to once again summon back Crimson Dragon. Very nice. We'll then use the effect of Synchro World to then revive and return our Shooting Majestic Dragon. So our end board should thus be on turn 1 the following: our Synchro World field spell, Arrive in Light, Cosmic Blazar, Shooting Quasar, Shooting Majestic, and the Crimson Dragon. So that should give us 3 negates. We can also use the graveyard ability of Assault Synchron to then revive Cosmic Blazar. Once he uses his banish effect, we'll be able to bring him back and then use his negate once again. So that gives us an additional form of negate. During our opponent's turn, we'll target either Quasar or Blazar, shuffle back Crimson Dragon once again, to then go into Stardust, Cipher Divine Dragon. Gives us a nice little board protection and also an additional negate. Very handy. So once our opponent starts going off, this is pretty much what they got to play through. Pretty terrifying. Obviously, stuff like Dark Ruler No More is going to be pretty obnoxious, or just any other combos in general or interrupters. So you may be thinking, well, this seems pretty intense, but how do I protect it? How do I keep it safe? Because obviously, we've done a lot of summons, so our biggest threat is going to be a giant rock from outer space. Hello, Nibiru. But not just him, stuff like Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom Joy Spring, Dimension Shifter, Droll and Lockbird, Infinite Impermanence, the aforementioned Dark Ruler No More. You're going to get hit with a lot of stuff by your opponent just to stop your combos. Again, even though Speeder may resolve and get us going, we're still going to get put into danger range just through the effects of stuff like Ash Blossom trying to stop our searches, or just summons in general. Nibiru turning our entire field into a Primal Being token, or just any other hand trap that's really going to mess up our stuff. So, your counterplays are going to be 3 Crossout Designator, 1 Called by the Grave. You're going to want to save your Crossout for as long as possible, as Called by the Grave will pretty much take care of a lot of the common hand traps. Ash Blossom, Droll, Shifter, Veiler. Doesn't take care of Nibiru or stuff that isn't a monster. So that's where Crossout Designator comes in to kind of fill the void. He'll be able to stop out those Nibirus, cancel out those Infinite Impermanences, and also just stop and shut down the Dark Ruler No More if your opponent chooses to activate that. So definitely want to hold out on your Crossout Designator for as long as you can, just so that way you can get rid of your opponent's more major plays like the Nibiru, or just use it as a defensive card to stop that Dark Ruler No More once it tries to get activated. But that'll pretty much be your turn 1 end board. Huge thanks to Junk Collectibles for working with me on this. We basically created a full document that pretty much goes through how the whole combo works. This is a ton of fun as a deck, but obviously very fragile and vulnerable, as once Speeder resolves, your opponent's easily going to turn you into a rock from outer space. So having the proper counter cards or negates that you can utilize outside of your ultimate boss monster synchros, definitely going to come in handy in saving you from getting walloped. So that'll do it for today's deck combo guide. If there are any other decks that we've profiled on the channel that you want to see a more in-depth look at, be sure to let us know down below and we'll try to get to those as soon as possible. Huge thanks again for Junk Collectibles for teaming up with me on this. Very much appreciate him setting up the full combo guide. In any case, that'll do it for today's combo. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time.